All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the dialogue with Lady Raj. Tonight, we're doing something a little different from what we usually do. You know that this show is meant to do anything that will bring glory to God, that will educate people, will inspire people, will encourage people. So, tonight, we are going to do exactly that, but in a slightly different form than we've always done. So we are going to have our guest, and tonight she's going to tell the story of her life. And when we see people who look good on the outside, I'm not talking about physically, they look fine, they look like all is well with them, they look as if they've arrived in life, they look as if they have everything they've ever wanted. We are tempted to think that they just got up one day and then found themselves there. We are tempted to think that they have seen nothing in life. I mean, they've had everything given to them on a silver platter. But this is a person that I have been friends with for a long time. She is somebody that I consider a big sister. We are more than friends. I don't see her as a friend at all. She's my big sister, and we talk a lot. We talk a lot. But recently we had a conversation that was quite deep, and I realized how very little I knew about her story. And as she spoke with me, I was so inspired. I mean, I have a lot of respect for her. I've always admired her, but hearing some of the things that I heard, I said to myself that this is not something that is to be consumed by me alone. This is something that people should hear and then be encouraged. So tonight, let me not take too much time. I would like to call our guest. I'll just call her name, but she will introduce herself. All right. So without much ado, I want all of us in the chat box to drop some heart emojis even as we welcome my very own, my big sister, Mrs. Vera Norman Addo.
Hi,
Please drop
Raj.
some heart emojis
Hi,
to
Raj.
welcome my darling sister. Hello, big sis. You're welcome. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation. Thank you for
Thank
agreeing
you,
to share
thank
your
you,
life story with us.
thank
That
you
is
for,
such a selfless thing to do.
thank you for
So,
having me. Thank you, Lady Raj and your husband, Mr. Yeboah, Michael Yeboah. Thank you all. And thank you to everybody that is on the line. Most of the people here, I think almost everybody here means a lot to me, has been part of my journey and till now. And I have my brother, blood brother, Philip, on the line. When I told him that I'm going to share my story today, he asked, says, would you be able to do it? And I said, I will do it. I will do it.
sis,
For
I
the
think that
first time.
you should, sorry, I think that you should please raise your voice a bit. I don't know if it's just me,
Oh,
but
okay. Can
your
you
voice
hear me?
seems a
Can you
little
hear me? Can you hear
um
me better now?
yes. Is it
Okay.
clear,
So
everybody? If you're having difficulty hearing, please let us know in the chat box.
chat box,
Um
yes.
Yes, please.
Okay.
But Ceci, you have to forgive me. I forgot. It escaped me. I always share a prayer at the beginning. So let me just
Okay.
quickly share a
No problem.
prayer. Father, we
All
thank you
right.
so much for tonight and the opportunity even to be blessed. We ask that even as our sister shares her story, let somebody leave encouraged. Let somebody leave inspired. Let us leave here better than we came here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
So please let us
So,
know in the chat box if you can hear clearly. Thank you.
okay. So I have my group here. I have my brother here. As I said, I have sisters here, and I see the woman of God herself, Mrs. Anita Adom. So I greet you all my sisters and brothers represented here. So my name is Vera Norman Addo. Addo is my husband's name. I have two kids. I live in New York, Brooklyn. Um, I'm a nurse by profession, and um, yeah, that is basically what is it is about me. I try to do God's work here and there, and so that's basically what it is about me. And um, grow. I don't know how to start though, Lady Raj. You need to help me. I don't know how
Okay,
you want
so
me to start.
all right. So I can you tell us about your childhood growing up, how it
Okay.
was like, how your family was like, and I think we
Okay.
can take it
So,
from there.
all right. So I grew up in a family. My father had married twice and divorced before he met my mom. So my father had kids from the two marriages prior to my mother. And with
Okay.
my mother, we had four kids. My father and mother had four kids. That's my big sister, my brother, myself, and Philip, who is on the line. So we were the last four of my mother and father. And in our home, my father was a very good man. He was the one that wants you to be a perfectionist. He wanted his children in a certain way. And so all my siblings, if you look at my siblings, everybody is very calm and quiet. I'm the only one who is odd. Odd by saying that I'm the one who is a fighter. I'm the only one. I wouldn't budge to what
You
the demands of
stubborn.
my dad. Very stubborn, very stubborn. I would say the black sheep of the family. So I always wanted things my way, and my father wouldn't agree to that. So, and my father was the type that you shouldn't be second in a class in an examination. When you're second, it means he will ask you that, okay, the person that became was first, did he have two heads? Why did you place second? So, and you will come home and you receive your beatings. My father will beat you up. If you're second, third, the rest he doesn't
For
even want to
being
know.
second place.
Yes, my father will beat you up. So
Wow.
our school, I went to Goldfield Schools Complex. So we always came home with the end of the semester with our report cards. And so you were coming home scared. You don't want to come home. And we'll be passing back doors and the rest because you don't. My father, the first thing you get home is where's your report card? And the beatings will start. If you are placed anywhere, even second, you will get something from him. Yeah. So we were always made. You have to receive a prize at the speech and prize giving day. If you do not receive a prize, that one is another problem. The whole week you are in trouble. And so my brothers, I'm in between two brothers. They were always receiving prizes. I never got any prize. I don't care, but I was ready
You
to
didn't
receive the
care, but your dad did.
yes, and I was ready to receive the beat because I know the only thing he would do to me is to beat me up. And my two brothers were super intelligent and they will receive all the prizes. I remember one time my bigger brother, the one I come after, he took all the subjects, all the awards, and I came home with nothing. And my brother Philip too came home with prizes, and I still came home empty-handed. And the war will start. So that was a bit of my childhood. So I wasn't a bad student. It's just that I didn't like to study. I like to only enjoy. So I like to play. And that's how it came about. So I was in Genesis 1 when my mother died. And my mother used to be the solace place because she was calm, reserved. She'd be like, "Oh, it's okay, it's nothing, leave it alone." My mother was that kind of person. My father was the hard because he was formerly a soldier. My father was a military man before he started working in
You
Goldfield.
should have said that earlier. We would have understood.
So my father was a soldier before he met my mom. So It was a do before complaining everything. So we had this fear for my father, and even in his death,
Mm.
we still have that fear for him. We still
Wow.
fear, like then when my father's name is mentioned, there is this fear that don't go there, don't play with him. So, but they claim um, I have always been my father's favorite. That is what the entire family says. But for me personally,
Wow.
I know what I went through with him. I have marks on my body that is was my father that gave them to me.
Wow. And he loved you.
Mhm. That's what they said. That's what they claim. They said my father loved me, but that man doesn't
Wow.
play. So, but I mean, that is one part, and the part that it favored me is that when I'm doing anything, I want to do it right. It helped me in that
Mm.
aspect. That whatever I'm doing, no matter what it is, I want to do it right. If I'm doing something bad, I want to do the baddest of it. If I'm doing something good, I want to do the best of it. So that
Mm.
is it. Like I'm very extreme.
All
So
right.
it partly it helped me, partly it didn't help me. So
Mm.
that is it. And then when I was in
Okay.
Genesis one, okay, so in Genesis one, my mother got sick and died, and
Mm.
that was the breaking point of it. So fast forward in Genesis three, now our solid place is taken, so we have to deal with this man alone, and it wasn't easy. I will forget about some parts that my aunt, my father's sister had to come and stay with us. And I remember my aunt, my father's sister used to tell me, the way, the rate at which you're going, you will become nothing. I used to hear that a lot.
You become what?
Nothing.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
My
extreme.
father,
Mm.
my aunt who lived with us in the time my mother passed, she used to tell me that a lot. That oh, and let me say this in Chi for those. I mean, some people here don't understand, but my aunt used to tell me that ode ubenyemu ansana, or say the ode ubenyemu ansana why bra, meaning you get pregnant even before you start your
Before
menses.
you see your
You
period,
start your menses.
that's serious.
Yes. Yeah. So my aunt also was that kind of throwing things at you I just this one. I mean, that time I was young. I was still stubborn, but I was young. And so then my father remarried in Jesus 3. And we lived in Takwa.
Okay, so V,
So, mhm,
please hold on. Please,
mhm,
when you're
mhm.
speaking, remember that you have your friends from America with us. So some of them don't know what our educational system. They don't know what JSS is. So
Oh, okay. So,
you might have to,
yeah,
you know
so
what? Yeah,
junior
you might
high.
you understand
It's
that.
junior high school.
That's junior
Yes,
high.
junior
So
high school.
JSS is
Yes,
junior high. Yeah. And how
yes,
old were
yes.
you when you lost your mom?
I think, 11 years. Yes,
Whoa, whoa.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
Please continue.
so in JSSD, my father remarried, and then that's when things started getting worse. Because I don't know if I can say this here, Lady Raj, but my stepmother never mentioned our names. My brother is here; he will attest to it. She had names for all of us. So somebody is called cat, somebody is called cow, somebody is called goat,
Wait,
and
wait,
so.
wait, wait.
Mhm,
Hold
mhm.
it right there. Um,
Hmm.
she didn't know your names.
No, she knew our
Were
name. She
they
was
pet
our mother,
names?
like our stepmother. Not pet names, like she would just she calls us that way. That's how she
She
calls us.
want
Till date, I don't understand why, but that's how she called us.
that was verbal abuse right there.
And gradually, my father bought into it. So he started. That's the power of a woman.
Whoa,
Yeah, my father also started calling us that. And sometimes my father would say in quotes, why no or like I mean, it started like that.
whoa, whoa,
It
whoa.
was it's that's so we knew immediately they mention an animal, we know which one of us they are calling.
So
Yeah.
you came to accept those
Yeah.
names. You came to,
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So JSS3, those times, junior high, we were doing 10 ones and I had 9 ones. So I got one in sewing. So my father had told me, and my stepmother said, if you get anything, we are not letting you go to school. You will stay here and work in the house. So luckily for me, or God being so good, I got 9 ones and all. I mean, out of the 10, I had 2 in sewing bead making because I wasn't really interested. And I
Mm.
got my first choice school, that is St. Rose's, and it was um, a free way from. I was excited because I was getting out of my father's house. I was
Oh,
super
not
excited.
necessarily because your dream school was your dream school. You just wanted to get
No,
out of
not
home.
because of that. I was getting out of the, because we were the type, we didn't have friends. You can't have
Mm.
friends. You can only talk to your classmates in class. Where we lived, we had phones, landlines, but nobody can call you. And you cannot go
Mm.
out to say, I'm going to visit a friend, and no friend will come to visit you in the house. So it's just your home, and school and church. So you cannot talk to anybody. Yeah, we didn't have that kind of life as a growing up person. You have friends that you visit, you play with. Now, all that
Mm.
time it cut off. We didn't have that. So, and I, in my father's house, I always had to. If you want to go to school, especially me, because I was the girl left, the eldest left in the house, then my younger brother, and then my cousin. If I want to go to school, then I have to wake up at 3 a.m. And mind you, I was the last person to sleep. Sorry. So sometimes we sleep, Philip and I will sleep around 12 or 1 a.m. and by 3 we are awake. And that was just as three.
Wait,
Because,
that's
mhm,
less than 3 hours sleep
yes, because if you
for a
want to go to
child.
school, yeah, my stepmother will, by the time you wake up, she would have all the chores lined up. So you have to do them before you go to school.
Wow. Okay. So let me come in. So in all this, how was your father's reaction? Did he
Yeah.
try to stop your stepmother in any way?
Let me tell you, my father loved us. I
Mm-hmm.
know, even though he was beating us during my mother's time,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that he was trying to, I felt he was trying to groom us to be better. But when my stepmother
Mm.
came in, I saw a different father. Like, sometimes I could ask myself, is this my father?
Mm. Mm.
It
So,
moved from 5 to 10
mm,
when my stepmother came in.
wow, wow. So you would say that the choice of a, life partner,
Hmm.
especially when maybe you lose your partner or you and your first partner go separate ways, is very important.
You have to be very
And
careful whom you bring to your home
yeah,
to mother or father your children.
your
You have to be
children
very
could
careful.
change
And
everything.
I didn't know about spiritual things then, but I don't know. And you see, everybody was trying to talk us into the fact that now my stepmother has done something to my father. But we were young, we
Mm,
didn't understand. And
you
we were
understand it.
Catholics, and we were Catholics, like, so we just go
Mm,
for mass and come home. We didn't know anything about spirituality and all those kind of things in the spirit. So that was it. Then I went to St. Rose's, and my that time I wasn't really doing well at school. I wasn't doing well because every time I'm thinking about home. So during vacation, I'm supposed to go back to this home, and it affected. I will talk for myself because I'm the one speaking now. It affected me so much because I wasn't doing well at school. Nah, my grades were poor. I had bad grades, like everything. And
mm.
mind you, I was a science student, a pure
Oh
science student.
no.
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't doing well at all. I wasn't doing well at all. And it reflected from first year to my final year. All my grades
Hmm.
is nothing to write home about. So,
Hmm.
and I remember every time we are about to, like for vacation, we're supposed to go home. I'll cry the whole night to the morning that we are supposed to go home. And people did not understand why I cry, like because we are going home. But I knew why I will cry the night before the morning that we are supposed to go home. I knew why.
It's funny. It's funny because whenever we vacated, in fact, about 2 or 3 days to vacation, I wouldn't be able to sleep because I couldn't wait to go home. I was looking
Oh,
forward to
okay.
going home. So it's
So,
really sad that
um,
to
yeah.
hear that
So after
somebody actually dreaded going home.
Yeah. So finally, throughout my school, my stay in Roses, it was poor academic work. So, but at the final exams, I don't know what God did, but I managed to do very well. I don't know. My finals SSE, it went well, and I was shocked. So when I came home after the 3 years, finally my stepmother sat me down and said, "You know what? Every house help that has been here does not stay more than 2 weeks. So I've discussed it with your father." And my father was a traveler. He used to travel a lot. So I've
Hmm.
discussed it with your father. Till we get a permanent house help, you have to stay home.
Wait, hold
Hello?
up, hold it.
Hmm.
So you had finished
SS.
SHS, SSS, which
Hmm.
is what?
Hmm.
How do you call it in America?
Senior high school.
You had finished senior high school, so it was
Yeah.
time for you to go to the university or
Yes.
tertiary institution. And
Yes.
those days, I remember we used to wait a year. Was it a year?
Yes. Yes.
I can't remember. I
It,
think
it,
those days, yes.
no,
You
it
had to
was
wait
a
a
year.
year to get.
It was a year.
Yeah,
A
you had to
year
wait a
to
year.
yes. So
But
I had to wait a year.
in your case, you had to wait till whenever time that there would be a
Yeah.
house help at home. Okay,
Yes.
please go
And
on.
then and I waited for 4 years.
4 years
Yes, I was in my father's house for 4 years.
after
I
school.
wasn't yes after school. So you see,
What?
my mates in nursing school. They are my school daughter's daughters.
Oh goodness.
You
D-
understand?
So so wait, let me get this. So it's very possible that your mates from senior high had
Mhm.
completed university
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
time you were ready to go to
Okay.
tertiary.
So all my mates had, and I could see them. Sometimes I saw them in town, and I had to hide because they had done their hair. They look good, and I still had my hair low cut. I wasn't supposed to do my hair.
Hmm.
Like I can't do my hair. Who's taking me to the salon to do my hair? And nobody knew about these things. It has to be the people in my house. So my brothers and my cousins, they know. So if I do not tell you, or if we do not tell you, you would not know. Because everywhere you see me, I'm either with my stepmother or my father. If we are going to the market, I'm with the basket following my stepmother. So I don't have a chance to talk to anybody. I don't know
Hmm.
if you understand. So
I do.
it's Yeah.
I do.
So there was nothing like talking to anybody. And partly it's helped me, but it's had a great effect on me, which is negative. And
Hmm.
the positive is that you see me, right? I am very hardworking. Like
Yes, I know. I was going to say
cleaning,
that.
yes,
I
because
thank God for your
in my,
stepmother because you're a great cook
yes, yes, and very hardworking. Because
and very
I can't sit
hardworking.
down. I can't sit down for 1 hour without doing. I have to get up and clean because that's how. I was groomed. That's how I was trained. I'm always doing something, cleaning something. And you see, my husband, he calls me Zoom Lion. That's how my husband calls me. He calls me Zoom Lion. And sometimes even when I'm home for like the weekend or holiday, he will tell me, Mommy, it's a weekend. It's for resting. Rest. I can't. I
You
can't.
weren't brought up that way.
Yeah, because it's psychologically, it's like my stepmother or my father is calling me to do something, so I need to get up. That's how my brain works. So if I come to your house and you allow me, I'll clean the entire house for free.
I know. I know.
So yeah, so one night and backtrack, it's okay, so where did I get to? I'm jumping a lot of things that happened, so I'm trying to flow.
Okay, so
And
we
then
are now at the part after the 4 years, after you stayed home for 4 years. What
yeah,
happened
I
now?
stayed there for 4 years. And the fifth year, I told my brother who is on the line that Philip, I need to leave this house. And he was like, why? It will bring problems. You know my brother. My brother is very sober and calm and
Yeah, so
like that.
Philip is on the line.
Yeah, he is just totally opposite of me. And so I said, no, I have to leave. He said, sis, don't do that. It will bring a lot. I said, let it bring whatever problems. I need to leave. And I had this friend whom I went to JSS with. So every time, and mind you, whenever my father and mother goes for vacation, my mother will lock everything in the house. She will lock the fridge, lock the rice, lock everything. So you just have the bathroom and your room
Ah,
and the kitchen, which is empty to yourself.
s- so what were you supposed to eat then?
That one you can ask Philip what we're supposed to eat. He's on the line. We don't know. So my father had
Hmm.
this friend that I would go to their house. The woman used to sell kako. What's the English name for kako? I don't know. Maybe we don't know. The woman used to sell kako, so I'll go to her and she will give me palm nut with the kako and she'll give us gari. So we will come home and I will make palm nut soup a lot. I'll fill it with a lot of water. So that's what we will eat. I have to measure it for my brother and little cousins that, hey, Masa, we need to take this thing till daddy and mommy come. So if we finish all, that's it. So is in portions, spoons, 2 spoons each every day. And that's what we're eating till they come back.
Wow, wow.
And we didn't have the
This
courage to talk to
knowing
my
you,
dad about it.
wow, knowing you now the way I know
Mhm.
you, it sounds unbelievable. I mean,
Mhm.
it sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if it was somebody else, I mean, I would have said, if I had heard the story, someone would have said, oh no, this one is a cooked up story. But I know you
Mhm.
and your brother, so we had to let Philip come here so that he would bear witness, so that if
Yeah.
his sister started lying, he would
I
raise his
know,
hand that,
right?
oh, sister, this one is
Hmm.
not true. So, guys,
Hmm.
this is a true life story. We just want Vera is sharing the story to let you all know that truly God takes the foolish things of this world and then brings them up to confound the wise. And also
Hmm.
that everything is about times and seasons, okay? So, whatever that you are going through, it's not going to last forever. There's going to be a
Yeah.
period when it will all be over. And so when
Yeah.
as the story progresses, you will see how God turns everything around. Okay, Vera, so please go on.
I told Philip back to where I was. I told Philip that I had to leave the house, and he prevented. And I had this friend I had in JSS who every time she would see me, I'm like, her name is Jemima Kanegan. My JSS mate is on the line to Ernestina Ahin. She is here, so she would
Wow.
know the name I am, and she would give me money every time the girl saw me. She would give me money. I didn't know why, but she would just give
Mm,
me money. And so I was keeping that money. So one day I told Philip that this money can take me to Accra. So I'll leave this house.
mm,
And true to my words, and as stubborn as I was, one midnight I woke up at 2 a.m. and opened the main gate, had my small money purse. And where we lived in a bungalow. So you have to go through two barriers before you get to the taxi, wherever the taxis are to go. And so I had to disguise myself because if the security guards should see me, they will call my father's house.
Hey,
So,
this, this
mhm,
sounds like, no, you know what? If you are into art here, if you are an
mhm.
a movie director, I think that this is a great script. All right,
They don't know. They don't
write it
believe
down and then
me.
let's act it out
So
because
I ran out and then I came to the the car station. I walked on I don't know, those who know Takwa, we used to use we call it train coin, the railway. So I walked in the night around 2 a.m. on the railways through Akon, those who know Takwa, Akon, and went into Takwa, like the main station. So
hmm,
then I came to board the car going to Takwa, Accra. So it was when
Vera,
we go,
how
yeah.
old were you then? How old were you?
So I finished SS when I was 18 and I stayed home
Okay,
18, 19, 20, 21. So I was around 22.
okay, so you are no more a child. All right,
No, no,
okay.
no, no. I
And
wasn't a child.
this Accra that you were leaving to, did you know anyone there that you were going to?
Yes, my big sister, like my father
Your
and
big
mother's
sister.
friend's girl, yeah, lived there.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
okay. Please
came
go on.
and I knew where she stayed because every time they
Was she
come to
expecting
visit.
you? Did she know you were coming?
No, no, we didn't have mobile phones then. At like
Then,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I just went to the address that they had me, and then I went to her. And when she saw me, she said, "Dad, Frey, that like it means dad has called, and they are looking for you. They woke up and they can't find you." And so they are looking for you in the house, and that is very upset. So you have to go back to Takwa. So she brought me to the Kaneshi um, Takwa station and put me in the LT, those times LT vans, and paid the mate that they should take me to Takwa. Immediately she turned to go, I also left. I got out.
V,
I
please
got
hold
out,
on.
out of
Did your
Mhm.
sister, had your sister lived with your stepmother? She never lived with your stepmother.
Not really. She just comes for Christmas and Easter and leaves. Yeah.
So did she not know how you were being treated in the house?
Okay, so this sister of mine, we never lived with her. Like I should say, we never born her because she lived in Akosomo all her life.
Okay,
She went to
okay,
Akosomo International. She grew up in Akosomo. We knew that was our sister, but she grew up in Akosomo. Yeah, so
okay,
I mean, with
okay,
my aunt.
okay. All right. Okay, please go on.
So yeah, so I got down, and the maid said, "I said keep the money. I'm not going." So I got that, and there was this woman that used to, like was selling oranges there. So I sat by the woman till night, and she was like, "Are you waiting for someone?" I said, "No." She said, "So why are you here?" I said, "You wait,
Where
I'll
was
go."
this? Kaneshi. Was it Kaneshi
Kaneshi,
Station?
yeah, Kaneshi Station.
Okay,
So
okay.
when the woman leaves, and this before God, when the woman leaves, I will sleep there on her bench. So I slept
What?
outside for 3 days. Yes,
Sis,
yes.
what year was this? What year was this? Can you remember what year this was?
Jesus, do I remember? So Raj, you're letting people guess my
You,
age.
you just go on, just go on, just go
Yeah,
on.
but it wasn't the year of social media. It wasn't the year of mobile phones, and so that's I slept there for 3 days. But I had my little book and my little money, and I didn't know where to go next. So what? The third day, when that woman that sells the orange came, she said, "Ah, young girl, you've been here for 3 days. Where are you going to?" So I opened my book and I said, "I'm going to Tema. This address, this with this name and this telephone number." So She went to space. You know, that time they used to have space to space. So she called the number,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think she tried severally before finally getting through. And then she called, finally my cousin, Sister Amma, picked up. So Sister Amma told the woman that that's her younger sister, but she's my cousin. So they should put me in a car to Tema, and I should they should tell the maid to let me get off at Community 4, Vera Road, and I'll see a church. So I should get down there, she'll pick me up at the church. And I didn't have a phone. So she had to, I waited there for a long time before she came. When I got there to the church, it was an Assemblies of God church. I don't remember well. So when she came, she took me home. So Sister Amma said, I told her everything. And she said, you know what? So what do you want me to do? Because now you can't go back to your dad for your results, and I want to help you. So I will put you into a school in Medina called Action Progressive Institute. That's where.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, so she put me in the boarding house of Action Progressive Institute. I think after a week, she brought me there, registered me, everything, and Sister Amma was pregnant then, and then when she was going to deliver, she died, but her baby survived. So Sister Amma died.
Oh my God.
So
Oh
yeah,
my God.
my aunt's daughter,
Oh
she
my
died.
God.
So I was left in action, and that was getting to the end of like to write my NOBDEC to get a certificate to go to school. So there was this action I met. That's where I met my twin. Her name is Perfect. I think she's here. Yeah. So I mean, we were together, and that's when I called home, and they said Sister Amma is dead. I said, okay. So I'm on my own here, and whatever happened there and that time, I want to jump it.
You want to jump it, eh?
So yes, I want to jump that side.
Wasn't a pleasant
And
experience.
no, nothing to write home about.
Mm,
So
mm.
then I went back to my sister again, and already she was furious. She was like, we've been looking for you for years. And because nobody knew I was with my aunt, because that aunt, that cousin is my mother's side. And you know,
Okay.
my father and my mother's side, they never saw eye to eye after my mother's death. So nobody
Mm.
knew where I was. So they had written me off. You understand? And
But
then
yeah.
my sister told me that my father had, you know how they get water in a bowl and wash their hands, and he had said that I'm no longer his daughter, and wherever they
Hey,
see me, I'm no longer his child. I think Philip witnessed that because he called all his children
so
and did
so
that.
he literally washed his hands off you, like
Yes, my
literally.
father, because I left his house. And do you know
Okay.
the lie my stepmother cooked up? My stepmother said I had told somebody that I will poison her, and she knew about it, so that's why I had to run. But that was not true. It was just a lie fabricated, like I don't know. So that's what I heard later on.
Philip,
So I said, okay, fine.
V, please hold on. Philip, I would really love
Mhm.
if Philip would speak at a point. At a point, maybe not now,
Okay.
maybe towards the tail end. I know, Philip, I know that you don't like this. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like public speaking and all
He
that,
doesn't.
but nobody can see your face.
He doesn't.
So I'll be glad if at a point you can actually come in to say something. I'll send you the invitation later, please. Thank you. V, please continue.
Yeah, so then I met this girl. Her name is Mabel. She was, I think, 10 years older than I am, and she took me as a friend. So we do you know what we do? Mabel and I don't know where she is anymore. It's not Mabel, it's Siama from Takwa, but Mabel, she was from the Volta region, and that lady
Mm.
took me as a friend, and I would sleep in her house. So Mabel and I will go to Agbogloshi or whatever they call it. and we would walk around. So you see the onions when they bring the big bag of onions. Sometimes there are holes in it, so some fall out a bit to tough on, that kind of thing. And then we'll pick them and
Yeah.
we'll go to the
Wow.
tomato section. Yeah, we'll go to the tomato section. We'll go and pick. So we're picking everything, and then we will walk from Agogloshi to Bubuashi.
Hey.
That's where she lived. That's where she lived.
Oh my God.
So it's like Yetum Pasa. I mean, I'm sorry for my Latin. Yetum
Yeah.
Pasa. So we'll just walk.
Yeah. It means strolling. It's as
Yeah.
if you're strolling.
And then we'll be holding our polythene bags like with plastic bags, like, and my
Vera
husband
Walker.
is.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Um, we will be holding. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, we'll be holding our polythene bags, like in America they call it plastic bags. Like we went for proper shopping. Always those things we pick them from the floor, and then we'll come home and we'll use coal pots to cook it, and we were enjoying. I mean, I was happy. It wasn't. You see, it's now that I felt like, oh, these things were not. I wasn't really at a good place, but at that time I was happy. Like I have food to eat for a day. I was okay. I didn't have a three-course meal, but I have food.
Hmm.
So and where to stay. Mabel and I would just put a mat on the floor and sleep. And I was happy because I wasn't being called like I wasn't being called a goat. I wasn't being called a cat. Nobody is beating me up. So man, I was excited. Like I was living my life
You're
freedom.
living the life.
So then one day we were walking back. Then we got to a point and we saw Royal Protocol Management Services meet a secretary. Yeah, I said, maybe let's go inside. She said, oh, she didn't go to school, so she will not go. I said, okay, let's go. I want to do the secretary thing. So I went, and the man, God bless his soul, I hear he's dead. Nana Kobina Isuman, he was the boss. So the lady there at the desk was called Sandra. So Sandra said, oh, you
Nana
know, I need
Kobina
to go.
Isuman.
And
Did you say Nana
right,
Kobina
if you
Isuman?
look at my feet, in footro pa a woman nasi am the secretary job.
V,
Yeah,
did you say Nana Kobina Isuman?
yeah, that's his name.
Hey, that's the name of my father. Oh.
Oh no, that man is not your father. Oh, he's dead.
I know, but I'm saying that's the name of my father. Lah.
Okay, so
Please go on.
the man said, I like the way you speak, but you don't have any document or any certification. I said, say, I will do this. You try me. He said, okay, I'll try you for 1 month. I will not pay you. I said, I will do it. So I was doing this. That's where I met most of the people that you all know now because we used to do governmental events. So that's when I met Alan Shermatin, I met Sami Uku because it was during the Kufuor's era. So
Mm.
they all became my friends. I was funny. I was an interesting young girl because all the people in the office were far older than I am. And
Hmm.
oh, I can't hear my earpiece anymore. Wait, let me see.
We can hear you
Yeah,
though.
so that's where all those people became my friend. And yeah, so one day we had an event to do. It was a funeral for Sickens, Bamson Paint. How do you call him? Alisa Hotel's owner. So we had to do the usher for the funeral in Quill. And um, we were doing this auction, and one man called me and said, oh, you're pretty. I like you. This is my hotel room number. I want you to come there. So I took the number, the card, and then I put it in my bag. And then another man
Hmm.
approached me and said, give me the card. So I gave I can hear
Hmm.
myself. Raj, can you hear me?
But we can hear you. Yes, sis, we
Hello,
can.
can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so another man, he took card from me and he said, "You look like my daughter, just like my daughter, Apoba." And he
Hello,
called me
sis.
and said, "Yes, can you hear me?"
Uh-oh, your voice is very faint now.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Wait, let me check my ear. My ear is messing with me. Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sis, we can hear now.
Okay, all right, good. So the man came to
Hello,
me and
V.
said, "Give me the." Yes,
Uh-oh, it's
hello.
gone again.
Hi, Raj. Can you hear me?
No, no.
Okay, let me leave.
Hello, V. Okay. While we wait for her to come back on, this is the dialogue with Lady Raj, and tonight we have Mrs. Vera Norman
Can you hear me now?
Addo.
Raj, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we
is it
can.
clear now?
Sharing her life story. It is,
Okay.
it is.
All right. So
Please go
the
on.
man came to me and said, "Give me the card the other man gave you." So I gave it to him. He said, "What did he want?" I said, "He said I should meet him at his hotel room. This is it." So I gave it to the man. He said, "You're not going anywhere. I'm taking you to Accra right now to meet my wife because when I saw you, I was scared. I thought you were my daughter, Eliza." I said, "Okay." So the man drove from Kweo to Accra and took me to his house. And that is now the man I call my father, Dr. Jimmy Heyman. If
Yes, yes. God
every
bless
man,
Dr. Heyman.
yes, if every man is like that man, this world will be a better
A
place.
better place. But V, oh no, are you crying? Please don't cry. Please do not cry. I'm warning you. When Dr. Heyman approached you, were you not scared? I mean, this person said that meet him in his hotel room. I mean, that was right there. And then other person said he was going to take you to Accra to meet his wife. How sure were you that
Because
he
because
was real? Like he was.
because he called his wife. He said, "B, I'm bringing somebody who just looks like Apple home." You understand?
Okay, okay, okay. So you looked
Yeah.
so much like his daughter.
Exactly. You see, when I was
Okay,
even doing my
okay.
wedding, she was my maid of honor. That girl. When
Yeah,
she came
yeah,
out,
yeah,
people thought it was me. When the girl came out, people thought it was me.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so the man brought me home. I met his wife. His daughter was in school. She's a medical, like she's a doctor now. She was in medical school. So uh,
Mm.
and he said, "I want you to go to school. What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to do nursing." And he said, "Okay. I know the Koforidua principal nursing school, so I'll just call her." So the man just called, and when it was time, I they bought the forms for me, and I went to nursing school. And then he became an ambassador, and I lost contact with him. I didn't even remember his house anymore. So the and he traveled out with his wife. I didn't remember where he was anymore. I didn't know how to get into contact with him
Uh-oh.
anymore. So that contact too broke. So nursing school, I was on my own. So Raj, you know that story. I will jump it. So
Okay.
uh, so I was in nursing school by myself, taking care of myself, and
How
then I
were you
had
doing that? I mean, surviving
Raj.
on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, okay, so good
Mm.
question. You remember during the Kufuor's regime, nursing school, he brought this thing with nursing school that they were giving allowances. And
Allowance, yes,
fortunately,
yes,
or
yes.
yes, fortunately for me, we were paying 90 cedis for our school fees, and we were getting allowance like 170 or 180, one something,
Wow,
120.
wow,
So those who were in
wow.
school with me then, Harriet is here, my mate Harriet. If she will remember, there was a time that they said that we have even overpaid school fees, so we should come for the rest. I
Where's
don't know if
Harriet? Harriet,
Harriet is
you
on the
can
line.
raise your hand. You can raise your hand. I'll make you a speaker.
But you see, I wish Bernice was here. There was this friend of mine in nursing school. We used to call her B Baby. So one day, Bernice was telling me about the stepmother, and I said, Bernice, come, I want to tell you something. I just told her three things about my stepmother. This girl couldn't stop crying. She cried the whole day and night. I sent her the link. I don't know if she joined. Bernice is also here in
Oh,
Massachusetts. Yeah. So then I finished nursing school, and here is the story. This is the best part of my story. When I wrote my nursing exams, there are 7 papers. I was failed 5 papers out of the 7.
so that means you passed
Hello,
two
I passed only 2. Listen,
out of the
don't be
seven.
so hard. Yes, don't. And I want everybody listening to me. Don't be so hard on yourself. If God, when God wants to deal with you and put you at a better place, He will do it regardless. It's not about anything. Forget about time. Forget about
Hmm.
everything. This God that we all know and serve, He will do it. I failed 5 papers, including
Hmm.
practicals. The nurses here will they know, they will
Hey,
understand. I see Nana here, I see some of the nurses here, those who went to nursing school, they will understand. I failed 5 papers, and then I had to rewrite it the following year. And the following year, out of the 5, they passed me 1. So I failed 4.
hey.
And, uh and that was me. My friend Perfect, Perfecteria is here. She will tell you. I said, Perfect, this
Wow.
is on stage. Me, I'm giving up on this nursing thing. She said, Vera, go write again. I wrote again. It was 4. And they passed me 2. It was, and it's not like you just go and write. You have to wait for the following year, the following batch. So your juniors, the juniors after your juniors, like that. You're
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
writing with them. And they are seeing you. You were their school mother or you were their senior. Look at you. You're always coming to write exams. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I would, then I will
It was
rewrite.
left with two.
It was left with 2. Then I wrote the 2 and I was passed 1. Was
Hey,
left with 1. Yeah.
say
So
pass or be
calculate them.
passing in Nadia Debida.
La lie. And it wasn't that they were intentionally failing me, oh, because me, when I was in nursing school, I was always looking for money. So for to
So
take
you
care
didn't
of
have
myself,
time.
so I don't have time for any those things. Charlie, where my mind
So you were
is,
a part-time student.
yes, full time,
Full-time
but
hustler, part-time student.
yeah, yeah. So where my mind was is not even that anatomy and physiology that they are teaching because I can't go hungry. I need to look for where my next school fees is coming from, where my next food is coming from. I don't have time. So yeah, so I will just come, yeah, yeah. So I then it was left with 1. Now listen, you see that's where God's timing comes in. When I went back to Koforidua, oh yeah, I jumped the next part that I slept outside. One day I came from school from Koforidua to come and get some money from someone. And then I went to my sister's house because the person I was calling the person wasn't picking up. So it was getting late. So I went to my big sister's house. At 11 p.m., she instructed her house help to tell me that they want to lock their doors, so I should leave. So the girl came to me, she said, Mama Santoa, Mama Tina says, leave so that I can lock the doors. I mean, I didn't have money in my
Ah,
pocket to go back to Koforidua. And I didn't have anything. I didn't know where to go and sleep. Now you're telling me to leave. And that was Odoko. I slept outside in Odoko. It's not that somebody says, it's me I am saying. And if my sister
wow.
was here, she would tell me. Yes. That's when I slept outside in Odoko. So that was my number two sleeping outside.
Hmm.
So oh I so when oh shoot. So when I went back to hello,
Yes, sis, we're here.
oh these people keep calling into it. Can you hear me well?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So when hello? Oh my God. Hello?
Yes, sis, we can hear you, sis. Hello. Oh goodness. Vera's Vera keeps going off, but it's okay. So we are talking to Mrs. Vera Norman Addo, sharing her life story with us. I am sure that by now someone is already encouraged. She hasn't gotten to the end yet about how her life turned around, but I'm sure that those who know her now are even encouraged because they know that she started somewhere. She didn't just get up and end where she is now. So Vera is back. Vera, can you please unmute yourself and continue? Vera, can you hear me, please?
Okay. Hello, Raj. Can you hear me?
Yes, V.
Okay.
Yes, sis.
So I so where was I?
You
I
went back to
moved.
Koforidia.
When I went back to Koforidua, I got sick and they said that I had cellulitis and the way it has eaten deep into my thigh, they have to cut my left thigh
You
and
had
then
you had the DAB.
that was cellulitis.
What is that?
Um, my brother just it's a sickness. Like my brother just tested me that it's okay. I'm making him too sad. It's okay. I should leave it.
Vera and
Yeah.
Philip.
so so when it's an infection and it had eaten into my thigh too deep that so this doctor that I knew, Dr. Boatin, God bless his soul, he's dead. He came in and said, oh no, I won't let them cut your leg because you're a nice girl. So I know what to do. I know the best antibiotics to use and everything. So he started packing. So when they pack my dressing, the nurses understand it wasn't easy. So when I went for my last dressing, I cried so much because all the nurse in there it was so painful. So I was crying, and he said, "Come to my consulting room, come and eat." So it was when I was eating with Dr. Boatin, then my husband entered, and he just
Please hold on, la, hold on, don't go there yet. Okay, so all this while, all
Mhm.
this you're up and down hustling, were you
Mhm.
still in touch with your brothers?
I was in touch with my brothers, my two brothers.
Okay,
There were the only two people I was in touch with. Um, my
okay,
brother
okay,
Norman, Pastor Norman, that one, and Philip.
yeah,
They were the only two people that
okay,
I would get into touch with. So, and they were the
okay.
only two that looked for me. Nobody can. Nobody looked for me. Nobody.
And your dad,
Nah.
because I know that,
Mhm.
I know that at a point your dad fell sick. Was it after this or
Yes.
before this?
No, that was after everything, after nursing school. That's when my father got really sick. So I
Was
heard,
it
and then
after you met Mr. Addo?
that was before I met Mr. Addo. I was in nursing school. I was
Because
in
you
school
came to
when,
that part.
yes, I was in
I
nursing school.
want
That's
you to
when
share it,
I,
please.
okay, so I had this friend and I told him that I want to go and visit my dad. And he said, okay. So he had a Land Cruiser. He shopped into like a lot of things into the Land Cruiser. And my father was in the village there. So me too, I want to show off small. So I wore my nursing uniform and
Mm-hmm.
I went to my father's village. And the guy gave me a driver, his driver. So I went to
Mm.
my, and then when my stepmother saw me, that was the very first time my stepmother mentioned my name. She, she said,
Oh,
hey,
so she
queer.
knew your name.
Yeah, she said, hey, queer, when you, no way. Yashusha was son, and I just hugged her. And then I said,
Hmm.
where's my dad? So my father was in there. When I saw the state of my father, I was like, no, I have to take my father to Koforidia right now. So the guys helped my father into the car. We drove straight to Koforidia with my stepmother to bring him to Koforidia Regional Hospital. So that was it. That's how I reconciled with my father because I went back not going to look for anything from him, but in that state when I went
Mm.
back, he needed my help. And so I took my father to brought him to the hospital. Jesus Christ. So
Hmm.
um I then I'm coming to the part that I met my husband. So Bernard came in, spoke to the doctor, not knowing the doctor is his cousin. So he just spoke to the doctor and left. And what had happened was his
Okay.
grandmother had passed. So when he heard his grandmother had
Okay.
passed, he came to Ghana with his mother to see the body. So he left. So fast forward
Okay. So
in
your husband was resident in the US already.
yes. He had lived in the US. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So because it's his grandmother that raised him and he heard that she had died, he had to rush that. So one day I was there, I was about to write my last number one paper that is hanging. Then Dr. Boating calls me and said,
V.
Mommy, where
No,
are you?
no, V. Wait. You've left
Mhm,
something out. V. You've left something
mhm.
out.
Okay, which
Or
one?
you don't want to talk about it. That's why you left
No,
it out.
say it. Which one? The
Your
broken
first
heart.
love, no. Your first love, no.
Hey, that one. Hey, that guy, he took my soul. Anyway, so I was dating this guy. I used to bring him to church into SR in my church. And I this guy had introduced himself to my spiritual father, Prophet Bernard Elbena. Everybody knew him. Everybody in SRM that time knew him. We come to church together, we live together. And he said that time he went with me to see my dad and my sister. He said he wants to marry me. So we're planning to get married, and boom, this guy switches up on me and said he doesn't want to talk to me. And that was it. Right. I don't want to go into that because of
Because
certain
what
people that
somebody
played.
told him something.
Yes, because somebody told him something and lied on me, which was a lie. And it was too deep because of where it was coming from.
Mm.
And but finally I proved myself. So he said
Mm.
that, oh, to prove yourself, we have to go to this place and the woman there will prove whether you are that or not. So I said, okay. So we went with his aunt and
Vera,
after
you're already
everything,
saying the thing, so why don't you go there?
no, I don't want to go into details. So, you know, Philip is already
Okay.
warning me
I know,
that
I know, I
so,
know, I know.
so um yeah, so sometimes people that are very close to your heart will hurt you, but you should be able to live above it, forgive and live a free life, mind, make your like have a free mind. So and I had friends who would always say, Vera, the onion on water. Now the bia wedding now a you know, people used to throw those jabs at me. Even my sister
Please, we don't
used to tell me.
understand. Some of us don't understand
Oh,
you.
like whenever my friends are having their weddings or naming ceremony, I am the main person. I would dress up and go. And then people will say those things that, oh, she won't marry. She won't marry. Like, go and marry. You to go and marry some. You know, that kind of thing. And so,
Yeah,
because all
yeah,
my
yeah.
friends were married, all my mates were my age mates, they were married. And me, I wasn't married, and everywhere too, I will represent. So, I mean, people would just say, go and marry, you know, that kind of thing. So then Dr. Boateng called me and said, I want to see you. So I came out and he said, your husband wants to talk to you. I said, me, my husband. He said, yes. So I picked the phone and then it was Bernard. And he said, give me your number. So I gave him my number and we started talking. That was in December 2012. So he came to Ghana December 2012. Yeah, we started talking November day, and then he came to Ghana. Sorry, December, and that's when I met him again. The first time we had an interaction, we spoke, and he said, "When is it your birthday?" I said, "May 1st." He said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "I want to go to Sun City in South Africa." He said, "It's done." So when we went to South Africa and came back, my result had come. And I called the school. They said, I have passed. Finally, I am a nurse.
Finally, after how many
Finally.
years?
I can't count. It was a long time. Finally. But I just want to tell you that, you see, that's how God's perfect timing works.
Mm,
If I
mm.
had not failed all those papers, I wouldn't have met my husband because they would have thrown me at some place in
Yeah, yeah.
Mankesim to go and serve because I would have passed my exam. So there was no way to go back to Koforidua to go and write an exam, whereby my husband's grandmother too would die for him to meet me there. You understand? So everything that is working,
You felt
everything
like it
that's
was
happening,
orchestrated
the
by God.
Bible says, yes, the Bible says the steps of the righteous are ordered by God. So sometimes we
Mm,
go through certain turmoils, we go through certain hardships. You do not know what God is ordering. The enemy will come in and frustrate you like you are in front of the Red Sea. But God would part it. God will part the Red Sea. God will take you to the promised land, no matter how frustrating it gets, no matter how tough it gets. See, I just want everybody, I mean, there's a lot of my story that I cannot say because of time, but I just want to encourage you to know that. And you see, when I met my husband, 6 months, he married me. I met him officially in
wow.
December, and in June the following year, he married me. So God doesn't need
Mm,
you to have somebody that will date you for 10 years before they marry. If God sees you will marry, and it's time for him to let it happen, that same year, even maybe yours will not take 6 months, 1 month, you meet
mm.
somebody who will love you, take good care of you, wipe away all your tears, and make you happy.
So true.
You see?
So
And
true.
you see, and in that same year, in November, I was pregnant. So I didn't even take long. You see, that is just what God wanted to do. And the following year, He brought me to America, and it is what it is. I mean,
It
so
is what it is. I love that.
somebody will look at you and feel that, oh, because most of the people around me saw this Vera. They didn't see
Mm,
the Vera that used to sleep outside. They have never
mm,
encountered the Vera that used to pick rotten onions and rotten tomatoes to cook. They have never encountered the Vera that was being beaten and verbally abused every day. They never met the
mm,
Vera that they called a goat. A remunenchie. Do you
mm,
know what a remunenchie is? Bush cow. They never met that person.
mm,
They met the Vera who is necessary. So
mm,
they are judging you with this. But my dear
mm.
beloved, I have come through. There is
Mm,
nothing I have not seen. I've seen hunger, I've seen tears, I've seen sorrow, I've seen
mm,
turmoil, I've seen everything. And I've seen death because at my age, I'm very young, but I buried both my mother and my father.
mm.
You understand? So I've seen death too. So, God, I just want to encourage you, don't lose hope. But there's one thing that I know. Me, I am not holy and I'm not righteous. I'll tell you. When Raj wanted
Mm,
to ask me when I got saved, I said, don't ask me that question because I cannot answer you. I don't know when I got saved. But there's one thing I want to tell everybody here is that there's one thing. Always be happy for people. When somebody gets 1 million Ghana cedis, be happy for the person. If somebody buys a new car, be happy for the person. If somebody gets married, enjoy yourself and make merry for the person. If somebody gives birth,
mm.
everything somebody gets, you see, in through that, yours will come. Sometimes it's
Mm.
not even about prayer. It's not always
Yeah,
praying anything because the
yeah,
Bible, God even says that our righteousness are like filthy rags before Him. So it means that
exactly.
our righteousness is not part of the equation.
At all.
And prayer too, we don't know how to pray, so we pray a mess.
Yeah.
But is your heart? God sits up there and looks at our hearts. God knows that if I give Raj $1 million, she will give Vera some. She will give
I
Michael some.
receive it,
She
Dad.
will give Philip some. So God will give it to you. But God who
Amen.
knows our hearts knows that if He gives it to you, you will not give anybody. So He will not give it. So we all, including myself, we have to change our minds and our hearts. That is what I'm saying. It's not about how holy, because I'm telling you for a fact that if we are calling the holy people, all of us here, how many are we here? I don't know the number. Raj, is it 73 or 41?
41.
41. I'll be at the last. I'll be the number 41. Because me, I'm bad. Oh, my dear, I know
Oh,
me, I'm terrible.
Avi.
But I'm telling you that it is your genuineness of heart and mind.
Yes, it
Because let me
is.
tell you,
It is.
if at the moment they say, oh, Mrs. Anita Addo has won $20 million, you see, Satan will come to you and say,
Amen.
hey, Satan will come to you and say, oh, why not you? Why is Mrs. Addo?
Mm.
Why not
What
you?
did she do
But
to
the
deserve it?
ability for you to say, oh, I'm so happy for Mrs. Anita Addo and be genuine about it, that's when yours will come. Be genuine about
Wow.
the happiness for her. That's when yours will come. Because, see, jealousy is in everybody, including God. Like, He will not say, I'm
Yes.
a jealous God. So, jealousy is in everybody. But the ability to say that I will not let this make me hate my brother. I will not let this make me be jealous and turn into hate for my sister. But I am happy that this sister is getting this. That is what will open doors for you. It is not your prayer. Mrs. Rajwa Adom, I
Mm.
have finished. I think I've
This
done
is
enough.
Irajuayabo.
Rajwa Adom, I think you have finished. I think I've done enough.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much, Vera. I mean, um, you know that I love you. I mean, it is no secret. And it's the one of the reasons I love you is because you are selfless. You are selfless. And for you to share your story with us, because I wanted to encourage somebody to let people know that there is God, one, and then two, everything is hidden in time, all right? And sometimes it's just not your time, or it's just not your turn. So you just wait for God to show up for you. All right. So I want people to ask questions. Well, I've got one question now. Somebody wants to know, V, please, how come she doesn't look anything close to what she has gone through? The person added A, like she's shocked. Like, you look nothing like what you've been through. Please, if you have questions, quickly raise your hand, or you can put it in the comment, the chat box, or you can send a private message. I'll read it out. V, how come you don't look anything like what you've been through?
It is because I never let the things that I've been through affect me. There is not that it doesn't affect me. There are days that, Raj, I am so sorrowful, like I cry. But when I go
Yeah,
outside, I'm happy. It is because sometimes I remember, like, hey, why was my father doing this to me? Why? Why was my stepmother doing it? And I will cry the whole time. But after maybe I will speak to Sister Tina or Sister Benedicta, I'm like, okay, I'm back. Oh, let's brush it off. Let it go. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Is in the past now. And so
yeah,
sometimes that is why if those who know me and are very close to me, they know I am very careful with people. I don't take
yeah.
people for granted. And because
Mm,
myself, if those who don't really know me and think they know me, I'm
yeah.
very sensitive. If you are talking, I'll be like, are you happy? Is everything all right? What is going on? Because I have been there.
Mm,
I have been there. And as I
mm,
said, I've been through hunger. So I know how it feels to be hungry. You
mm,
understand?
mm,
So that's so
mm.
it is there. It's not that I still have the scars from my dad, so it's still on my body. I know.
Okay, so I let me read one or two comments. I mean, when you go to a chat box, everybody is so blessed. Um, Nabedu says, "God bless you, Mrs. Vera Addo." Mrs. Anita Adom says, "God bless you, dear." Samuel Mensah says, "I've been encouraged." Edem, "I've been encouraged." Obami, I'm encouraged. Sister Celine says, "I love her too. She's really a selfless person." Vera Akutu says, "Inspiring." God bless you, Mommy Vera. Debbie Fayose says, "Self-motivation." So Mrs. Marion Quay is asking, so where is the stepmom and her sister who wasn't there? Sis.
My stepmother is still in the village somewhere, and my sister
Okay.
I don't know where she is.
Okay. All right. And Tawheed is asking, when you were being called Aponche, what impact did it have on you mentally, and how were you able to overcome it?
Okay, so it did have an impact on me to the extent that when I'm going out, there were days that I'll be walking in the streets of Accra and somebody will be like, "Hey," like not talking to me, but will just mention
Mm.
She Ujaino, and I would turn because I felt like I was being caught. Can I have an envelope? Yeah. So it really it's gradually is going away, but sometimes the voices, bye, have a great day. Sometimes,
Mm,
bye sis, bye. Sometimes the voices keep coming and I remember.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Okay. All right. So, yeah, someone is asking if your stepmom is still alive. Yes, she is. Um, Debbie Faye says, "God bless you, Mama Vera." Sylvia Batwahine says, "Thanks for sharing your story, Sister Vera. Indeed, there is hope. Rosa for life. Roses for my and why." Megan says, "Sometimes when one is going through not yet seeing the hand of God, and you who has seen the hand of God, how do you help their faith and hope?" Oh, okay, okay. So when maybe someone is going through something and has not yet seen the hand of God, how do you use your experience to help the person's faith?
Um, Sometimes I feel that the people that I have spoken to, they are not able to handle what I'm telling them. So most of the people on here don't know the story I just shared.
I think the only
Yeah.
person that knows the entire story is my younger brother and you, Raj, which even it happened
Yeah.
today. Today was the
Yeah.
first time Raj heard my story. And
Yeah.
Raj felt she had known me for years, but she didn't know this part. And so
Mm.
I try to tell them, I try to use the stories of the Bible to, because that
Mm.
one is in writing, is vivid. They can
Yeah.
read it and know. But if I should tell them, sometimes I tell somebody something like, "Oh, Sister V, stop it. That wasn't you. It can't be you." So I
Yeah.
leave it. But it is
Hmm.
true. That was me, and it
Hmm.
happened to me. So
Wow.
yeah, there was this lady closer to us, this family that was closer to us, that one day the woman asked me, "Ah, una we new house help now, Wolfian." In my father's house, the woman asked me, "Are you the new house help that has come?"
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Anyway, all right. So, someone is asking, has your stepmother even apologized?
No, no. Yeah.
And we are not looking for an apology anyway.
No.
We are not looking. We've moved on. Michael Ogbami says, loved this session. Favor says, God bless you, Sister V. Mami Fwa Asamwa, Rosa for life. Yo yate. School Papa dear. Yo, we've heard you. Okay. Benny says, sorry, my question is, has your stepmother ever acknowledged her actions? No, please, she didn't. Yvonne says, God bless you, Vera, for sharing this inspiring life story. Rosa for life. Okay, so I think that, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, um, we will end this session. I believe that we have all been blessed, and um, I want to say to Vera that thank you so much for agreeing to share your story. I know that it wasn't easy for you because when we're speaking this afternoon, you were crying and I was crying with you. So I know that it wasn't easy for you to share, but thank you so much for sharing, for encouraging somebody, and for
You
inspiring
didn't
us
you
all.
didn't talk to Philip?
Yeah, Philip. Where's Philip? Philip, please, can you say something? What do you have to say to your sister? I've sent Philip an invitation. Philip, no one can see your face. I promise. Just speak for 30 seconds. I promise. I've sent an invitation. Please accept it. And so while we wait for Philip, I just want to encourage everybody here that just wait for your time and it will happen. Whatever that you feel has lasted a long time, I'm sure that a day will come that it will all be over. And when we read Isaiah chapter 60, it talks about um, the God and the last, from 19 to 22, it talks about God being the glory of his people. And it talks about all the things that he plans and has in store for his people. And the last part of verse 22, he says that I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. Other versions says that, and when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So there you go. Okay, Philip is here. Hi, bro. Philip, we can't hear you. Philip, can you hear us? I need you to speak. So,
He's on.
um,
He's on. Philip, speak.
yes. Hello, Philip. Hello, Philip. Okay, bro. So I'll ask that you go leave quietly and then come back in the room. I'm sure that it will work. It will just take a few seconds to do that. Please go off and come back on quickly in just a minute as we wrap up. Philip, Philip, your people are. They said there's nothing wrong with Philip's network or microphone. Backman, he said, please let's just close. He won't. He will. He will. I trust him. Once he accepted the invitation to speak, I know that he'll speak. Bro, can you hear me? Oh, V.
Yes. Kofi, maybe he doesn't know how to maneuver. Raj, you have to tell
Oh,
him
he
to press
does.
the microphone. No, this is the first time
He
he came
does.
on Clubhouse. So Philip,
Oh, but the
Philip,
microphone sign is there. Trust me.
shame
He
Backman
knows.
and will ban you, or they will laugh at you. If you
He knows. He
Nancy,
knows how to maneuver.
Backman and Obami will laugh at you if you don't speak. Let him just leave
You,
and come back.
Philip, just leave and come back. Our time is up. My executive producer has sent me a message. Okay, so I think that we'll just wrap up, but thank you all once again for joining. Vera, God bless you. Mrs. Adom, thank you. I see you. My own biological father, Daddy, thank you so much for joining. All Vera's friends and everybody, thank you so much for joining. The Dialogue with Lady Raj is on every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Philip is back. Philip, okay, on mute now.
Yeah, hello. Please, can
Whoa,
you hear me
Philip,
now?
okay. Yes, we can. Bro. Okay, so in a minute, what do you have to say to your sister?
Um, okay, so I think she has been through a lot. I know a lot. I can't, because of time, I would say that God has been good to her. And I think God has been doing wonderful with their life. So she should keep
Yeah.
the good work. She has been a very good person, I know. I have a lot of
Yes.
siblings, and she has been the best among them all, to be honest. And I'm telling her here today.
She's what?
She has been the best. She has been the best among my siblings. I have a lot of them. I
Oh.
can say I have 9 of them,
Mm.
and she has been the best. Hello, Sister V, you are the best. God bless you for
Thank
everything that you
you.
do, and
Oh,
especially the
thank you
things you
so
do
much.
for me. I mean, a lot of people do not
But
even know that I'm not in Ghana as I speak.
yes, so some people don't know. Those of us who know, we
Uh,
know.
You are the best. I will not say more,
Mm.
but God bless you. Thank you very much for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I want everyone here to know about this. I appreciate you, and I love you so much.
Oh.
Keep doing the good
Oh.
work. God bless you.
God bless you,
Yeah,
Sister
Raj, I'm
V.
done.
Okay, so guys, yes, bro. Yeah, done.
Yeah, I'm done, please.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, V. God bless you from your brother. He says he loves you so much. And guys, thank you so much. We'll meet next week. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lady Raj. Follow me on Instagram at Lady Raj, Facebook Irajwa Yebua. Thank you so much. God bless you. I love you all. Bye bye.